Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the hypocrisy of the mainstream media.
This video is to expose the hypocrisy of the mainstream media and the agendas that they push. We are asking you to listen with and watch with an open mind before you form an opinion. We aren't trying to sway you either way. We just are just kind of giving points and that the mainstream media doesn't give when they show you their agendas. We're gonna get started with this whole bullying agenda that they're pushing with the television, with the multimedia and the influencers. Because once, especially children and anyone that's on social media and watching television, they're easily influenced by these people that they look up to. So we're gonna go into the bullying agenda. So for ages, since I can remember watching anything, you always seen the bullies in the school picking on like the nerdy kids.
Stuff you in a locker.
Right, stuff like that, and which is not right. We're not saying that's right, but we're just saying, that was the image that was given. They give as the bully back in the day.
But nowadays, the definition of bullying is a bit different. It's not just getting stuffed in a locker or your lunch money stolen from you. Nowadays, they say it's if you disagree that a child at 5 should not pick his gender or her gender, that it's bullying.
Right, and to be honest with you, what 5-year-old child understands anything about sexuality or sex?
None.
Unless somebody is teaching them. And so, and to me, and that's where the agenda is getting pushed, and they're trying to make it seem like kids at 5 years old have an understanding of anything like that, especially rationalization of anything like that. But you can't buy something until you're 18. So then they'll come back and say, when 16 and 17, I was kind of irrational and didn't have the mindset to do things. But now you're saying a 5-year-old has it.
Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense. And that's what they do. They'll push these agendas on people through the cartoons, through the television, through the influencers, and everyone starts to eat it up. Especially because a lot of people out there are very easily influenced, and they go with the flow. They have the hive mindset, and that's what they want you to have.
And recently, well, not recently, but a couple weeks ago, I seen a video on TikTok. It was like a baby boy, but the mom was putting him in girls' clothing, and he had no choice because he's a baby. So it's crazy to me.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. The agenda is getting pushed, and people see it on TikTok, and they want to copy and follow. And a lot of these people just do things for attention. And in the end of the day, they'll say, well, he liked it. Well, how do you know he liked it? He learns everything from his parents. So whatever his parents are presenting to him, he's going to think that's correct. The Constitution of the United States was built on, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and amongst other things. And so, with the whole letter movement, they believe that, since they have a sexual preference, which we don't care. Most people don't care about the preference. It's about the way you act. It's on the depraved act. And the switching of roles and genders. That's the agenda. It's the switching of roles and feminizing men and
masculinizing women.
Right. And if you go to these pride parades and they have children there and they're dressed all, they're very scantily clad, dressed all crazy and acting in a very overly sexual tones, manners, right? And if someone says, hey, that's kind of maybe you shouldn't be doing that for the children, and maybe you should, if you, it's okay to do what you do, but maybe you should tone it down a little bit. They feel that that since I have that difference of opinion, that I'm bullying them, and it's absolutely not bullying to have a difference of opinion. Sexuality, period, should be, no matter if you're heterosexual or homosexual, should be kept in the bedroom. That's a personal thing. It's not something to be, flashing in everyone's face. The real agenda is that they're trying to get the children young so that, they make anything that they push to you, they want them just to accept everything. And it's fine.
For example, like the Desmond is Amazing kid. He was out there. He's obviously a boy, but he's wearing female clothing that no kid should wear. And he's dancing for grown men in some bar. Like a kid should not even be in the bar in the first place. And the worst part about it is they make it seem like that's like some civil movement and that this is a fight for rights. But at the end of the day, it's really not. It's just an agenda. And then if you say anything against it, they call it bullying.
They were literally throwing money at this kid like he was a stripper. If it was been in any other situation, the parents would have been charged with neglect and child abuse. because that's what it is. You know, I mean,
Exactly.
you have grown men whistling at this kid's cross dressing, and they're saying he's a hero. I mean, that's brainwashing that kid. That's bullying him to thinking that what he's doing is great is great because now he's getting that affirmation from these adults for doing it. And you know, everyone looks for affirmation, especially children. So if he's getting it that way, he's gonna believe he's gonna be like, well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing when, you know, maybe it's not.
And the only reason they let this happen is because it's part of the letters movement. Because if it wasn't for letters and it was just some little girl dancing and grown men throwing money at her, they'd all be arrested and thrown in jail for being pedophiles.
Right, and that's the hypocrisy of the whole letters. They can do everything they want to do because of them being a letter, and they can cross lines that cannot be crossed by which, you know, are heterosexual people. So, you know, a lot of times they say they don't have rights, but it seems like they have, at this time, it seems they have a lot more rights than straight people.
Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
Because they can say and do what they want, and they can say, hey, you know, we come in love and tolerance. Yeah, love and tolerance until somebody doesn't agree with what you do or say.
Another thing is, in all these videos, like with the street preachers trying to preach the truth to the homosexual community, people will say that's offensive or bullying or leave them alone. But when it happens the other way around, people see it as empowerment, and it's all of a sudden not bullying anymore. Hypocrisy.
Another big agenda that the mainstream media was pushing a lot was the My Body, My Choice. So, you know, the whole feminine rights movement was about women having their body, their choice, in order to do what they need to do with their body. And that was something that they were pushing very hard.
But nowadays, it seems like that quote, my body, my choice, only matters for specific things. But for the things they want you to take, they say, forget that. You got to take it.
Right.
No choice anymore.
Right. And you have, so they have all the people rallying around you because the television is telling them that these people are dangerous. And it's like, you know, well, if you got what you're supposed to get, then you're supposed to be safe. Why are you worried about other people? You know, it's like, if you got what you said you got, you should be in a good space. You know, it's not, so, you know, I want you to use that same energy that you were using for My Body, My Choice for these people that are saying it now for other things. The bottom line is this, you know, if it's not a mainstream media agenda that's being pushed, which is coming down from the Satanists, you know, a lot of these agendas are coming from the Satanists in these high places, and then if you go against them, then you're just wrong, and they're gonna mock you and make you look crazy, and that's just the way it works. And you know, unfortunately, that's the way it is. A lot of people don't critically think. So we just ask you, you know, when these agendas come out, you know, don't believe everything someone's telling you. Do your own research. You know, go in there and look at things with a clear mind, and don't just be influenced by because this person said it. Then call it gospel, because that's not how it really works.
Say it's not about left versus right. It's not about this is correct or this is wrong. Whatever the mainstream media pushes is because of agenda. It's not for any good. It's for evil, and it's all an agenda.
Yep, till they get to the end game. And if you want to know more about the end game, just go ahead and read the book of Revelation. It tells you a lot of things that are actually pretty much happening now. You'll be surprised.
Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you learned a lot.
And once again, make sure that we know when you get any type of messages, just do your own research and critically think. Don't believe everything we're saying as well. You know, when you heard some of the stuff we've talked about, go ahead and do your own research and make sure that you're forming your opinion on things, doing the proper research.
Yeah.